standing there Saturday evening, telling everybody that he's going to
Call this meeting to order. Mr. Bennett, Mr. Boyd, who wants to go first? I'll let Mr. Bennett go.
I will concede to Mr. Bennett.
Do we need a roll call?
If you feel like we need to, we will.
Well, since it's a formal meeting, I defer to you on that one, but I didn't know if it didn't matter. So, by way of background, y'all will recall we had a meeting last week where there were several offers reviewed on Boone's Creek. There was also some discussion about an offer and then a backup offer. Mr. Petzel and I communicated through the evening about the terms, and he was getting those together for my review to pass along to the chairman. And in the interim, one of the interested parties in the property, cashiers, contacted me and expressed that they, I think, thought that we were going to come back and do another round of negotiations. I'm not sure why they felt that, because Mr. Petzel and I both were pretty clear. But regardless, they indicated that they would have a substantially higher offer forthcoming by the end of the day. And sure enough, before close of business, I received something that I have emailed to each of you. It is an offer to purchase the Boone's Creek property for $2 million. Evidently, they were listening closely to Mr. Urban's comments about what he thought the property was worth. So the purchase price is $2 million. The due diligence period is 30 days. The proposal is to close 15 days thereafter. There is $25,000 of earnest money, of which $1,000 is non-refundable under most circumstances. Upon receipt of that, I reached out to the chairman and we discussed procedurally what to do, because, generally speaking, you can revoke any offer or counter offer before it's accepted. But obviously that requires, in this case, board action. It's something that the chairman could do in his own right. And so after consulting with Mr. Petzel and the chairman, basically I held on to the counters, because ethically I have to pass along to the board this particular proposal. And I didn't want to prejudice the board's rights to change its direction if the board chose to change its direction. So that's why we're meeting tonight, because the quickest we could do it would be 5 days from Friday. So we have in front of the board now another offer. But we also have 2 counters that the board has already authorized. So the board now has a couple of choices. You could do nothing, in which case I will pass along those counters after the chairman signs them, of course. Alternatively, you could rescind the 2 offers, just so that your minutes are clear. And then you could take action on this proposal. And is it Petzel here?
He is.
Right here.
Yeah, with the camera, I can actually, I see a very narrow window. But anyway, so that's what we got. If Mr. Petzel would like to illuminate or expound upon that, that's where we are.
Thank you.
I would add one additional option that I think the board would have, and that would be to consider rescinding all offers. This is a unique situation where the offering prices have been so close and so public. Everybody knows what everybody's deal is. So one option is to rescind all offers, set a date for the highest and best price from each of the three respondents, including the Abington offer, and see where it goes. That's just another option that you have. You have like 4 different options.
What's the worst thing that happens in that, with that?
Pardon me?
What's the worst thing that happens in that auction?
Nobody submits a proposal.
And we don't have a sale?
You're
Possible.
Correct.
You're
Right now, you
gambling.
have two birds in a hand, one in each hand. You have one in the tree, and that's the risk that you take. You have to weigh what that risk is.
All
I
right,
can't hardly read all this. When does this offer expire? The one we have here.
Well, it's actually an agreement that he's already signed.
Right.
Yeah, so
They didn't give us no
no,
time frame?
right, correct.
It said time is of the essence, I read somewhere.
Scott, can you address that?
Yeah, I don't see an expiration on this.
Okay.
I'm looking through to be sure that I'm correct on that.
Do we have something back from the other offer that we sent back, or counter offer?
That's what he said, he's holding on to.
we didn't send it
We
back.
didn't
didn't, oh,
send it.
so we didn't send them, so
We
we don't.
verbally
I was-
countered, but we haven't.
Okay, I was,
So in other words, if you want to rescind those offers today and accept this offer, you can do that today.
So we didn't offer them anything, so we were not,
We're not bound to nothing.
Bound to
We
anything.
voted to offer, but we've not bound anything. We've not sent
Yeah,
that back.
Verbal, not written.
So if I had sent those along and they had been accepted, then we would be under contract. And I knew, my concern was at that point in time, I would have left the board with no room in the network. So
Okay, did anybody vote no on that? Do you remember, Jennifer?
Or, I don't
I
know.
voted some no's, but I don't remember what for. We had so many amendments.
so Scott, question, okay, we're sitting here with a signed contract from a purchaser that we haven't agreed to yet. So what does preclude us from reaching out to the other two entities to see if they would increase the price?
what precludes you? Nothing precludes you.
I mean, would that not be a prudent approach? I don't know. I mean, how badly do they want it?
Well, that's a business decision for the board. I think as Mr. Petzel said, you've got, it's a business decision for the board. I would not think that cashiers would revoke their offer because pretty clearly they want this property. Now, I can't presume that they wouldn't revoke the offer. But, you know, they were at, and Petzel reminded me, I think they were at 1.4 at one point, and then they went to 1.65, and now they've gone to 2 million. I don't think that if you ask for highest and best, we revoke this, but they could.
Mr. Flanders, you got something?
I'd like to make a motion if you'd allow it.
Let me add one comment, please. I did notify both Cashier and Red Oak as to the board's decision that night regarding a pending counteroffer. However, the counteroffer was never approved by Scott and was never delivered.
What about,
They were both aware that counteroffer,
what about the third entity?
pardon,
What about the third party?
they were notified because they weren't part of any of the motion or any decision of the board.
So I just feel like it's our job as the board to get as much money out of this piece of property as we can, because that's, our job is to, you know, support public school, support our students, and support here. So, did you find out, Jennifer?
I don't want to go back on my word.
And I get that, but
My
you didn't even
word is-
send it.
Yeah, well, that's what I don't understand, is why it wasn't sent when
This was
board-
immediately, what he said is this was immediately sent the next day, so.
And then to respond to that, Mr. Urban, I understand exactly what you're saying, but, you know, I have a duty to convey, all relevant information to the client, which is obviously the Board of Education. What y'all do with it is up to you. If I had gone ahead, and I consulted with the chairman about this, I didn't do it unilaterally, but basically, if we hadn't, held those two counter offers, the odds are very good that this would have been an irrelevant meeting, and instead the conversation would be, well, why did we leave $300,000 sitting on the table? And that's a business decision for the board to make. The only thing I can do is provide you with the information so you're free to make those decisions.
And on that, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but even though we sent those counters back, doesn't mean they would accept them?
Did you sign them?
They were notified by email by myself of the board's decision that night about the counter offer to Red Oak and the backup counter offer to Cashier.
Mm-hmm.
But the counters were prepared, I prepared both of them, and I forwarded them to Scott for his approval, and that's what they,
Yeah.
that's what they want.
I know it's been so long, it seems like it's been 2, 3 years, but I know we had at one time this property appraised. We had it both with and without the building. Does anybody remember what it was appraised, or is it
That wouldn't-
already
that
after
wouldn't-
it's a
I
certain
don't
amount?
think it would matter now.
It would,
Is that
well, I'm
what
just
I'm
saying,
gonna-
I mean,
Appraisal was several years ago.
I know it would
Did
be.
it
It was
get
1.7 or 8.
I think it was 1.8.
1.7 or 8.1.
Okay,
Now, what
that's
was your question?
That's what I was trying to think
My
of. Thank
question
you.
was, did anybody vote against sending this counter offer?
The first motion as amended, which was to accept the 1.7 with Red Oak, there were 4 no's. And then the motion for a backup, Mr. Riddle's motion for a backup with a counter offer to Cashier, and the February 10th, all that, there was 1 no.
All right, good.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but did somebody do business with one of these two companies?
No, that was insulation.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That was,
It's all running together this afternoon.
Must have been great.
Okay, I'm good now.
All right, Chad, you want to make a motion?
If you'd allow me to, please.
Please.
I'd like to rescind the 2 offers that we voted on last Thursday and ask for highest and best and for next Thursday or Friday.
Thursday or Friday.
Can they not let
For
us
me.
know? Can you not let us know if they're gonna accept it and get this?
We got 5 days, you gotta post a meeting, so that's the reason it's gotta be.
They can submit the
you want to get a
proposals at any
second for
time.
discussion?
Yeah, we didn't get a second.
Jerry, clarify one thing for me. Your communication with Red Oak was just that counters were coming, or that you had a $2 million offer?
The counter to Red Oak was
I'll make a
to
motion then.
reduce the due diligence period to 45 days, because they had already made a $1.7 million offer. The offer from Cashier was to, counter offer was to increase their offer from $1,650,000 to 1.7, because they were already at a 45-day due diligence. So the two decision points were price and due diligence period.
But no response was made.
Neither party received a counter offer in writing
Next
from
Thursday or Friday
BOE through me.
from me.
So what you're doing here, Chad, is just rescinding the
The 2 offers
counter offers, and we're
And
just
asking
gonna
for
let it
final
sit
and
for
best.
us
until next Friday or Thursday or
Then we'll
Friday,
meet
whichever
again.
one's better,
to consider this.
to consider all.
Well,
The best
this or
amount.
whatever we've got, right?
On 2.
On all.
Five.
Okay, so he never got a second.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I think it does.
So,
it's dead.
okay, so
Well,
I want to make a motion to rescind. And let's see if we can start over from there.
That's what he said.
that's what he just said.
No,
Well,
he
no, he made a
said,
motion to rescind.
I want to rescind
and
this so
do
we
that.
can start fresh. So I want to rescind those offers. That's my motion.
You want to rescind this offer?
No, you've got this. You
Okay.
don't want to throw
You
this
want-
out the door, do you?
No, just the two we've already made from
What's
last
the
week.
difference between what you've done, what Chad done?
He wanted, no, but there's a big difference.
What she's saying is clean the slate. What Chad's saying is clean the state and set a date.
Yeah, I
So
wanna clean the
either,
slate and
either
let's
y'all wanna,
Do it right.
which we're past that, so if somebody wants to second that,
I want to clean the slate and accept this.
then you need to second. Well, you need to
No.
second it
I
to
need
start
to make a
over.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Well,
You
it's
already
gonna
had a
be
motion on the
seconds.
floor.
I'll make a motion.
Buchanan's motion's still out.
I know.
We don't have a second.
You know,
Hers
second.
didn't die as quick as mine did.
All right, let's kill hers.
Okay, now you
All right.
make yours.
I make a motion, we rescind the offers that we put out last Thursday and accept this one as written.
I second.
Now we got a
I
second.
got a question.
Yes, sir.
So is this closing in 45 days?
That's what it says.
Yes, sir.
Just want to make sure that's the way I read it.
No, sir, it's
That was after
30
30
days.
days.
30
30
days.
days.
30
And then closing says 15 days after
30 days
inspection.
inspection, 15
45 days to
days.
close,
45.
30-day due diligence, closing 15 days after the end of the due
And
diligence.
$1,000 of the earnest goes hard.
So close in 45 days.
Yes.
All right, we got a motion, second, any more discussion?
Well, what are you gonna do if somebody comes back in here tomorrow and says
2.2.
2.2?
We'll talk about it a week from tomorrow. I mean, I don't know what you, I mean,
Well, you
This
guys are
could
in
go
the
on
auction
forever.
business. That's what we're doing.
I get 3 of them in the room, we'll auction this thing off.
I mean, I believe if you take action tonight on this agreement, then
we're done.
this is the agreement that is signed by the chair if the vote
You need
is
to go ahead and
majority
sign it
vote in the
tonight.
board.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm trying to figure
We're
out,
getting a little
I know
pushy,
it
though.
wasn't conveyed, but you know probably
I agree.
representatives in
Pig
all of
gets
those
fatter, hog
watch
goes
their
to
live
slaughter.
stream,
I
correct?
feel fine with this.
What you said in the board meeting
Uh-huh.
was, and the numbers and the details of the contract was all public record.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's the reason why I made,
Everybody
that we
knows what
rescinded
everybody
what
knows.
we
I think it may be
said
English.
Thursday at the board
Right,
meeting.
right, that's what I'm getting, but I'm saying, I mean, I'm not thinking that some of them aren't blind to what. Does that make sense? Okay, thank you.
Scott, is that motion, I mean, is it pretty much to the point?
This is the point.
Okay.
Yeah, if the motion carried, then the two offers are revoked, and the offer that you have before you becomes the contract.
Does everybody understand?
I would raise the question if you want to accept any additional offers or close negotiations, should you decide to go with what's on the table,
Well, I think if
Well, that's
Jason
what Mike
signs it
said.
tonight,
or leave negotiations?
if Jason signs that off tonight, we're binding as of today.
Well,
And we close in 45 days from today.
Did he not sign those other offers?
No,
can I ask a question?
please.
We have a meeting still scheduled for tomorrow night.
I was hoping to cancel it.
Yeah, well, the email I got was canceled if we accept
If
this.
we've made action
Take
tonight.
that action tonight. Is that right, Jerry?
Dude, well, what
You
about
could.
this? What about, rescind the two offers and let's defer action on this until tomorrow, and if Mr. Petzold has any new information for us, then away we go. That opens the door for somebody, one of the other two,
Well,
wanting
let's-
to bump it up.
Pig, boys, pig gets fatter, hog goes to
Well, let's
slaughter.
vote, let's vote. Everybody's said their piece, right? We got a motion second, we got to vote anyway. All right, let's vote.
Mr. Masters?
Yes.
Mr. Riddle?
Yes.
Mr. Irvin?
Yes.
Miss Buchanan?
Yes.
Miss Dellinger?
Yes,
Mr. Fleener?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Hammond?
Yes.
Mr. Meredith?
rather see what else we've got, so I'll vote no.
And Mr. Day.
Yes.
Approved.
Here's the-
Here's ink.
Sign it, baby.
Give me that pen.
Sign it.
All right. What else?
That's all we can
Is
talk
that it,
about.
Mr. Bennett?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Good job.
I believe we could go
Thank you.
for the 200 for playground.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you,
Scott.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.